Hey guys, I wanted to quickly go through what your assignment is for today. So this should be relatively quick. So we're still looking at the stuff we looked at yesterday, the theoretical probability and the experimental probability. So you're going to kind of be doing your own experiments and you're going to see what your experimental probability comes up is. So it's going to be different than other people in your class, and it's going to be different than mine, what I'm going to show you here. So I've already done them all, but I'm just going to kind of show you what I did. You're going to be doing 3 different experiments. You're going to be rolling a dice, flipping a coin, and spinning a spinner. And it's all virtual. I'm going to send you the links. So right here, the first one I did was I was rolling a dice. So you're just going to pull up the dice, and I was just writing it down on a piece of paper. Like I was just writing down what I got. That was just easier for me. And then you can keep track. You can keep track in a table. I kind of wrote it down and then transferred it over to a table, as you can see. So I was just rolling the dice. You're going to roll it 20 times. So you just keep rolling. So 6, 3. It's kind of slow. 3, 2. So you're just going to keep rolling it. You're going to roll it 20 times, and you're going to keep track of what you get. So if you look here, when I was rolling it, I rolled 20 total times. I got a 1 7 times. I rolled a 2 2 times. I rolled a 3 3 times. I rolled a 4 2 times. I rolled a 5 3 times, and a 6 3 times. So as you can see, if you add all those up, it comes up to 20 rolls. And then down here, I did the theoretical probability. So the theoretical probability is if I roll a 1 out of 6 total numbers, then the probability is 1/6. 1/6 as a percent, just 1 divided by 6 is 17%. And that's going to be the same for 1 through 6. Chances of getting a 2 is 1 out of 6, 17%. And then your experimental probability is going to be what you did roll. So if you look here, rolling a 1, well, I rolled 20 times. I got a 1 7 times. So that means my experimental probability of getting a 1 was 7 out of 20. And then as a percent, so 7 divided by 20, I just typed that in my calculator, I got 35%. And you just do the same thing here for 2. So 2, it was 2 out of 20, which reduces to 1/10. That's 10%. And then so on and so forth. So you're going to do this. You're going to do your theoretical probability, which is going to be the same as mine. And then the experimental probability is going to be a little bit different. It's based off of what you get when you roll the dice, okay? You're going to do the same thing for flipping a coin. So here, you're going to pick up the coin, or you're going to go to the coin. And then I, again, just wrote down what I got. So you're going to do it 20 times. You just flip heads, and you just keep writing it down. So as you can see, I flipped heads 9 times and I flipped tails 11 times. So theoretical probability of getting a heads, well, it's either heads or tails, so that's out of 2. Getting a heads is 1 out of 2, that's 50%. Same with tails. My experimental probability, so getting a heads, I got it 9, I flipped it 9 times out of 20, so 9 out of 20, that was 45%. Flipping a tails was 11 out of 20, that's 55%. And then last but not least, I was spinning a spinner. So that is here, it's out of 10. So you just click, it spins, you just keep track. So that's a 4, that's a 10, you just write it down, or you can keep track in a table, kind of how I have it here. And then, so you'll keep track. I got a 1 4 times, a 2 1 time, a 3 3 times, and so forth. You can see my table. And then below, I just transfer everything over. So theoretical probability of spinning a 1, well, there's 10 possible numbers. So if I want a 1, that's 1 out of 10 possible numbers. That's 10%. And that's the same for 1 through 10. If I want to spin a 4, it's 1 out of 10, 10%. Then your experimental probability is based off what you rolled. So I spun a 1 4 times. I spun it 20 times, so that means my experimental probability of a 1 was 4 out of 20, which reduces to 1/5, which as a percent is 20%. I spun a 2 1 time out of the total 20 spins, so it's 1 out of 20, and then as a percent, that's 5%. So you can look down and see kind of how I have it, but this is exactly what you're going to be doing. Jeez Louise. This is going to be exactly what you're doing for your assignment. You're just going to do these 3 different experiments. You're going to keep track of what you get, and then you're going to just transfer it over to a nice table like this and then send it to me. So hopefully you all know how to open a Google Doc, transfer it over into a Google Doc, and then send that in Google Classroom. I'll try to make a video if you aren't sure how to do that. So just look for the video for how to send a Google Doc.